Story today, life in prison. That is the sentence for a former Baltimore police officer convicted of sexual abuse at his ex-wife's daycare. You may remember this story as James Weems Jr. has been behind bars since his conviction last year. This for abusing a child at Little Kids Castle Daycare in Owings Mills. Back in March, the parent of the victim filed a civil lawsuit to hold Weems financially accountable. His ex-wife, Shantiri Young, also in prison for shooting Weems after she learned about that abuse.
Today we have a disturbing story about a retired Baltimore cop who just got sentenced to life. So we're going to go over the article and what actually took place. As you can see here, it says an update. A man shot and injured in the Mandarin Oriental Hotel in D.C. faces charges of child SA in Baltimore, Maryland, police say. So before we break this down, if you like this kind of content, if you have any articles that you would like me to break down, then hit that subscribe button, turn on your notification bell. This is the Mo You Know, and I'm just going to be here to inform you. And all I can do is just tell you what's in the article and give you my opinion. I'm not going to make up anything. So hit that like button and let's jump into this article. A retired Baltimore police officer was sentenced to life in prison Monday for SA a child at his former wife's daycare, court records show. In November 2024, retired officer James Weems was found guilty of SA of a minor and showing obscene matter to a minor. This guy was doing all kinds of wild stuff. He was actually the driver of a van for the daycare, and we heard that he was shot. So he was going through a lot. Finally, they got him off the streets. According to court records, Weems' victims attended Little Kids Castle, a daycare in Owings Mills that was owned by his former wife, Shantiri Young. Weems drove the van for the daycare. Court records show that Weems admitted to looking at pornography while taking children to school. However, he claimed that he never intentionally showed the children or touched anyone. Why are you looking at it anyway? You're driving the van. You shouldn't even be on your phone for YouTube, making phone calls. Hands-free is the only way. But to be looking at pornography and then admitting to it, we just have to assume that you did everything that they're accusing you of. And I'm pretty sure you did. I do remember hearing about this story about a van driver. I didn't know that he was actually a police officer, well, a retired police officer, but I remember vaguely about this, and I'm glad that we're touching up on it and actually getting an update of what happened. During the trial, an uncle of one of the victims testified that the victim's family found pornography on her tablet, and she told them Mr. James first showed it to her. The victim was 10 at the time of the abuse. And that's why I'm saying we assume that you did everything they said you did. Now, you may have said you didn't show them anything. You must have been talking about off of your phone or off of your tablet, but you were using these little kids' tablets and showing them. I don't even know what would make your mind think to do some sick stuff like that. That's just unacceptable. And it's not even something that would cross a sane person's mind. Now, let me be clear. When I say sane, I'm not cutting him no slack and saying he's insane. He's sane because he knew exactly what he's doing. But let's get back to the article. He's a sick individual. The initial 2022 indictment accused Weems of abusing at least 3 children at the daycare. After the guilty verdict, prosecutors said they plan to learn Weems' sentence before deciding whether or not to bring other charges. They need to throw the book at him, throw him up under the jail. This is one time I can say send him to El Salvador. Get him out of here. We don't need anyone like this in society. Weems' former wife testifies. Weems' former wife, Young, also testified against him. During the trial, she had been sentenced to 4 years in prison for shooting Weems after learning about the allegations. So that's how he was shot. She found out what he was doing. At that time, it was just allegations, but she took it upon herself because of the safety of the kids and protecting these kids and making sure that they are all right. She went ahead and shot this man. Do I blame her for that? No. Was the accusations true? Yes. So I'm in agreement with her. Hopefully they take away her sentence.
Was totally broken. I felt like the blood had just drained out of my body.
At first, Shantiri Weems says she did not believe the allegations that her husband, a former cop, had abused children at her daycare, Little Kids Castle.
We were both supposed to be on this crusade of saving children, and child molestation is something that we talked about all the time.
About how horrible it was.
How horrible it was, yes.
During the trial, Young was not allowed to tell the jury that she had shot Weems. Now, they didn't want to bring that in because then the jury would take a different judgment, more sentimental. They're only supposed to judge off of what he's charged for. They didn't want to bring in the shooting. That's understandable. Miss Weems did something that she felt was worth it to protect those children, and she has been held accountable. Her attorney, Tony Garcia, said now it's his turn. And I like what the lawyer of her did. He's admitting what she did. She shot the man. She did her time, but she did it for a reason. And now it's time that he pays for the sins and for the crimes that he committed. We know what she did. Yes, she was wrong for it, but there was a reason behind it. And we're here for that today. All right, let me know what you think about this whole situation. Weems did get life in prison, which I think is a good sentence for him. Hopefully she gets her time taken away because the allegations were true, so they understand why. But I mean, legally, you can't just shoot somebody, even if they are doing wrong. If it's not in the act of self-defense, you can't do that. That's a premeditated shooting. So she got the 4 years. They might take some of it down. Hopefully they do. But make sure you watch the people around you, watch the kids. Don't just let anybody watch them. Now, I understand in this situation, it was at a daycare and she didn't do anything wrong. She was actually looking out for the kids. It was this sick individual. But let me know what you think about it. I'm Mo.J. This is the Mo You Know. If you got any articles that you'd like for me to break down, please comment those down below. Click the link in the chat for the Discord, and you can also submit articles there. Thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, share this with somebody who cares. I'm out.